Alright, in this video I want to talk about this kind of thing right here. Now, this person here, the YouTube user Just Rose, apparently left a comment on one of my videos, and I didn't get it. I didn't get a notification. I don't know what comment this person is talking about. But they're saying immediately deleted, right? And that's their word, immediately. How can I immediately delete it? I have to first get a notification for it. That takes at least a minute for you to post it, for me to even know it's there. Then I have to go to it, read it, and be like, oh, I don't like this, then delete it. So it takes a few minutes, right? Especially if I'm doing something. I might not even notice it for a while. So if it's immediately removed, it's probably because YouTube removed it, but they didn't allow it. And sometimes when you post a comment, it doesn't show up. Because sometimes I go to the comment section and I hit newest first, which is something you ought to do. If you think your comment's being deleted or removed, if you hit newest first, it will show up. And sometimes when I do that, I'll see somebody's comment and they have left it 2, 3, sometimes 4 or 5 times. Because for some reason, I guess when they hit send or post, it didn't go, so they hit it like a bunch of times. And then they blame me for it, that it didn't post, like I have some kind of control to make sure it doesn't post or not, right? So, these people, they're very quick to just judge and condemn you for something that happens normally on YouTube. This happens to me all the time. And I wonder, have all of you, such as Just Rose, am I the first channel you ever commented on YouTube? I don't think so, but if you have, well, you need to learn these things, right? You need to learn these things because this is normal on YouTube. I have this problem all the time when commenting on other people's videos as well, right? YouTube is finicky in the comment section. Nothing I can do about that. And besides the point, if I want to remove comments from my channel, I can, okay? If I don't like you or I don't like what you're saying, I can remove the comments. Deal with it. Make a post like this, but let us know what the issue actually is. Go make a video about it. Show everybody what it is I'm deleting and hiding from the rest of the world, right? I don't have to share you and your views on my channel and on my videos, right? And if any of you think I have to, you're delusional, right? It's just like I can't go and onto any newscast or anybody's show on their podcast or what have you and just start talking about Jesus Christ and the gospel, right? I can't just go talking on these things. It's restricted. And even Paul talks about in Galatians chapter 2 how him and the other apostles at the Council of Jerusalem didn't give place. They didn't even give an hour length of time for the legalists to talk about their point of view. They didn't give them any time for that. They didn't let any... They're just like, no, we're not giving you any time to do this. We're going to just talk about the gospel and get the gospel to continue on with everybody else. We're not going to sit here and listen to your lies, your deception, right? Such as if somebody's an atheist, somebody's a Satanist, somebody's a Catholic, somebody's a Muslim, and they start posting on my videos. Yeah, I delete them. So what? You got a problem with that? You cry about it. I don't care. I don't have to allow their stuff on my videos. Even if I give them a chance to talk to them, right? Like somebody's trying to say, oh, Satan's God. All right, and I talk to them about it, and the conversation runs dry. And then an atheist, they're like, oh, there is no God, and I talk to them, and the conversation runs dry. A Catholic comes along and is saying, Mary's the mother of God, and Jesus has to listen to his mother, and I talk to them about it, and the conversation runs dry. And then a Muslim comes up and starts talking about how God has no son, and then I talk to them about it, and the conversation runs dry. And, that's the end of that, I don't reach them. They don't accept correction. But then they keep commenting that same thing on my other videos. Yeah, I'll delete it. And then if I'm in a conversation with somebody in a thread, they made a comment and I start talking to them, and then somebody else jumps in and changes the subject because they want to put their 2 cents on something, I'll delete that comment because I see you as a distraction, right? If I'm sitting there talking to, let's say, an atheist about something scientific to show God exists because life and consciousness cannot come from something that's not alive or conscious. That's actually scientific fact and experimentation that you can experiment with over and over again, right? And then you jump in and you start talking about the rapture. Yeah, I may just delete your comment because you're just jumping in and causing a distraction. You're allowing that atheist to focus on you and your comment now and to get away from the light that is being shined to show the error of their ways, right? So yeah, if I delete comments, it's there for a reason. If you don't like it, make a post like this. Go make your video about it. But as you can see here, I think this has been updated. I'm going to take a look at it in a second. That's why I haven't turned the Wi-Fi thing off here. But I was saying, like, why are you lying about me, right? I'm going to, like, share your thoughts. Where I can't delete it here. I can't delete this, so share it. I even reposted this. I reposted this on my channel to show that I have nothing to hide, right? And as you can see, I was like, I wish everybody who says I delete their stuff would just do something like this. Yeah, share it with everybody else. I can't delete it there. You don't have to share it on my channel. Maybe that's the only reason why I deleted it. I didn't want you sharing it on my channel. You got a problem with that? I don't care, right? And then so I was like, my final one, I was like, so why'd you delete it? Did you just do this to waste our time? And then I don't know if I can just refresh. They did it. They refreshed and they put something here. Oh, and it looks like we got some other comments down here too. So this is what I supposedly deleted. This person says, I merely expressed my view on the 7 years. The first 3.5 years of our father, Terry's, and the last 3.5 years, the great tribulation, like never seen before, completes the 7-year cycle. The 7, the number of perfection and completion. And I was told he only allows truth. His truth, I guess. Okay, can't have a discussion or varying interpretations. I see how that works. I don't see anything wrong with this. There's no reason why I would delete this. I don't even disagree with it. I would just ask, I think I already mentioned it because I talked to them a little bit in the comments about what do you mean by the father Terry's for the first 3.5 years? What do you mean by that? Because there's no reason for me to remove this, right? And my comment where I say only allow truth is because the only comment I got from this person is I got a comment that I didn't understand. It said something about, oh, no varying views allowed, and it showed that X out mark, like they put right there, that circle with the cross going through it. And I was like, what is this person talking about? So I responded like, yeah, only truth allowed, right? Because I was like, weird, random comment. And then a few moments later is when I got this post, which didn't have the explanation with it, that I showed you just a moment ago. And now this time they've tagged New Moon Rapture as well. I guess maybe this person likes New Moon Rapture and they're looking for a reason to just kind of discredit my name or something, run it in the mud. Because I believe New Moon Rapture believes in like a 3.5 year tribulation. Even though we see from the very first mention of it with the 7-year famine in Egypt, with Joseph using that 7-year famine, again, 7-year famine, to draw his brethren who betrayed him back to him, right? So, yeah, but let's take a look at what we got here. This one, I was like, so what did I delete? I want to know what you're talking about. And they put it in the original comment. And this person says they should have took screenshots. And it says, thanks for calling me a liar. I thought that was ridiculous. It's like, you're calling me a liar. All right? This is what you're doing, because I'm saying I didn't delete anything. You saying I am. So you're calling me a liar. But the thing is you can't prove I deleted it. YouTube does these kind of things. You can't prove that you even posted anything in the first place. So why make this claim unless you can actually prove that I deleted it? Right? Why do that? Unless you have something out for me. Right? That's just me. But I just was like, hey, I told him about how YouTube is. And this one I don't remember seeing. It says, interesting how 4 comments are immediately deleted that express my view. Funny how that works. Are you calling me a liar? I don't want to argue as it's obviously futile. Okay, it's this. Either YouTube took them down, or you are lying. Are you calling me a liar? Because, I mean, that's just ridiculous, right? We're going to put the head upside down because I have to stand on my head to see your view because it's hypocritical here. You're calling me a liar, but then when I'm saying you're lying about it, then you're getting all offended for doing the same thing you're doing. So this is where I asked the question, what do you mean about the Father tarrying? Let's see what the person says here. It means he extends his time for people to come to Jesus. Oh. That actually makes sense. But does that mean you think no one else gets saved after the midpoint? Right? See, I don't have no problem discussing this topic here. There's no reason for me to hide this. Again, I shared this on my post here, and I thought I saw a notification that they might have said something else. So let's take a look. I believe that's that. So yeah. But this morning I've had a couple of people talking about some silly things. For example, there's one person popping up. I'm not going to mention their name because maybe they're just trying to get people to watch their videos, because the person was saying, hey, you got to check out my last 8 videos. And the pinned comment on those last 8 videos I put up, I proved how the rapture is in May 24th, 2026. 100% Jesus is returning at that time. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go look. And it was a comment, and it had a link to a chart of when feast days are. And that's all it was. And it was saying that day is Ascension Day. So it's like on that day, 2026, that's when it happens. And I was like, okay, that doesn't prove that's when it's going to happen. If anything, if you're correct, you just proved when Ascension Day is. That's all you did. You proved when Ascension Day is in 2026. That doesn't prove that that's when the rapture is going to happen. Right? A lot of people, they like to believe things, but they don't like to actually believe them based on evidence. Right? And then I had some people defending basically New Moon Rapture's point of view of math. And they built a straw man acting as though I'm against using math and multiplication and division, addition, subtraction, and using things like calculate the name of the beast, because it's a number, and it's the number of a man, as if I'm against using math and any of this. And it's like, no, you're beating a straw man here. The thing is that I require evidence to show the math you're using actually was used before, and you can use it to show that it works, that it actually means something. Because just because you multiply the name of Enoch with the name of Lot and you get 2025 doesn't mean anything unless you can prove through the multiplying of somebody else's name with somebody else's name that are connected, and it brought you to a year that actually something happened that was a prophecy. Because if you can't show this happening in the past, then what you did was just pointless and meaningless, right? And the person was saying, I'm just trying to prove him wrong. And I was like, no, I'm actually trying to prove him right. I would like to be able to use that to prove 2025 is the year. But I have no reason to believe that that proves anything other than 45 times 45 equals 45. I mean, 2025. Sorry about that. Right? That's all it does. All you did was prove that 45 times 45 is 2025, that the square root of 2025 is 45. So what? That's all you did. You didn't prove that's when the rapture is going to happen. There's nothing that proves there that that's the year of the rapture, right? Nothing. Just because you multiplied those numbers to be that, right? That's all. You didn't prove anything with the rapture. That's the point. If you could show you multiplying somebody else's number from their name with somebody else's number from their name, right? And you got the year of, let's say, the crucifixion. Okay, well, you got a witness there that shows that it can work. Now you need a second one. Multiply somebody else's name and somebody connected to them and the number of their name together and see what year you get. Oh, let's say you get 1948 when Israel was reborn. Okay, now you got two witnesses that show that there's something to these multiplying of the names together because they actually come to dates of certain events happening. Then it would be like, whoa, now we can really take a look at this 45 times 45 because it's the number of the name of Enoch and Lot. All right, well, then you got something. But until then, it's just imagination. It's meaningless. It's fluff, right? But these people want to just believe things just to believe it because they want to believe it. And I know that's how I'm going to be susceptible to that because I have rapture fever. I want it to happen. And that's why I'm being extra careful and I'm dissecting everything because I don't want to grab a hold of something and believe it just because I want it to be true. And that's what a lot of people are doing. They want it to be true, so they're going after it hardcore. But there's nothing actually to it. You're grabbing a hold of a cloud here and you're trying to build a castle in the clouds. It's not going to work. But a lot of you are trying to do it anyway. But anyway, let's refresh one more time. I don't think any other comments popped up. So yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to use this as an example of these people. Why would I do this video showing this if I was trying to hide it and delete it? Why would I repost your post on my channel if I was trying to hide and delete this? This does not refute anything that I'm teaching. It's just you giving your thoughts, and it's something I would not mind even talking about as I'm trying to talk to you about it in your own post. So why is it you're trying to make me sound as if I'm trying to hide this? And I'm some evil person here. Right? That's what I'm getting here is somebody has a grudge against me. Someone doesn't like me and they're trying to find anything to do one of two things. Either try to use this to run my name in the mud or trying to get me to react in a certain way that they can then use my reaction, as gaslighting, to then use that against me. Because I noticed that that's what New Moon Rapture was doing. I made a video about him, and he's basically just trying to gaslight me in his comments where he's talking to me. All right, he was trying to get me to react, obviously, basically tit for tat, right? He wanted me to name call him as he was name calling me, but all he did was show his spirit, his character, his nature, right? Because I didn't respond to it. But, it is what it is. But anyway, I am open to other ideas. If any of you watch this far, hit in the comments that if you would want to hear my testimony, because I looked into all kinds of different things. I came from a family where my dad was Catholic, my mom was a Jehovah's Witness, but I kind of ended up following my brother in more of an atheistic, agnostic kind of view as I grew up. And then when I joined the military, I looked into Mormonism because of a couple of Mormon buddies, and even went to some services in Islam, some Muslim services there. Learned a little bit about that, and Then as I got out of the military, I went and was looking a lot into like Buddhism and Hinduism and this transcendental meditation, which ended up getting me to be open to some other things. And I ended up looking at some New Age stuff and really spent most of my time getting into more Gnostic stuff and the Gnosticism and their view. And yeah, so I am open to looking at different views, but if I see a hole in the boat, right, because each one of these views, everybody's belief, it has to have evidence to hold it up so it doesn't sink. And if I look and there's a hole in the boat, I'm not going to get in it. I might have gotten in it before thinking it was fine, but then once I noticed the leak, I got out of the boat, and then I tell everybody there's a hole in the boat, right? It looks good, but as soon as you really get out there, it's going to sink. And I warn everybody about that. And I don't have to let you share it on my channel, right? If I really don't want to share this kind of stuff like this, I won't share it. I won't talk about it. I'll delete it. So what? You can always make your own posts and articles and videos about it. Why do you need me to allow it and to share it? Right? I don't have to bend to your will. I'm not your platform. Right? I'm not your billboard. Right? So, yeah, cry about it. I actually encourage you. Because if you really want to get something out that you think I'm hiding, go make a post, make a video. Because that's exactly what I would do. If somebody wouldn't allow me to post on their channel, I might not call them out being like, hey, they won't let me post on their channel. But I'll be like, I can't share it with them, so I'm going to share it with you here on my channel. And then you can ask yourself, do they not share it because they just won't want to share it? Or does it rebuke them? Right? Because this does resonate a little bit. It makes a little bit of sense, but I want to know more detail about what you mean, right? Because there is a little bit of a hint of you saying you think that the rapture is at the midpoint, more time to get saved, and then you get raptured, and then the last 3.5 years, right? There's a little hint that you're preaching that nonsense, right? And if you do believe in what is it called? They call it a post-trib, pre-wrath rapture. I already debated Donnie from Stand for Lies on that channel a few years ago, and where I realized debating is a game. It's of the reprobate mind. It's not something you ought to be doing. If I don't want to share your nonsense on my channel, I don't have to. Make your own video about it. Share videos about it. I don't have to share it. That's like getting mad that the Muslims won't share the gospel. They won't let me share the gospel on their channel and let me use them to share it. Right? The Satanists won't let me share Jesus Christ in their church. Right? They don't have to. Cry about it. Sometimes crying is good. It is a bit mocking, but it's good. You cry, you let it out, and then you can move on. Right? Sometimes crying is good for you. Right? Even when you do it in this way. But anyway, no hard feelings with this person. I think it's a misunderstanding. And it seems a shame as they seem to really want to just paint me as the bad guy here. And there's nothing I can do about that. So they're probably going to have hard feelings with me. But I forgive them anyway. But I am going to call this kind of thing out. Nonetheless. It's kind of foolish, but it is what it is. So, with that being said, if you like this kind of content, I know this is not the best, but sometimes this is what you gotta bring up, you gotta talk about, right? Because hopefully this brings a resolution to this and patch things up with this person here, because there's really no reason for us to be butting heads. But if they want to continue to butt heads, well, there's nothing I can do about it, right? But I'll end up eventually just letting them butt heads with a post instead of me, because what's the point, right? But yeah, it is what it is, and I hope this video proves that if I deleted the comment and just didn't want to talk about it, why would I repost it on my channel? Why would I be doing this video? And I have it right in front of your face. Can I zoom in? No, I can't. what they shared there, not something I want to hide, that I'm scared of or something, right? I gotta delete this. Oh, I gotta block Just Rose now so none of this gets out to my viewers. Get out of town with this nonsense. But I think I made some enemies, right? That's what it looks like, in my opinion. But this is a very light attack. I'm not saying I'm being persecuted. I'm just saying that, sometimes it's little jabs. Satan is the Lord of Flies, and those flies can come around. They'd be annoying. They're not going to prevent you from doing anything, but they can annoy you, all right? But I'm not really annoyed. Oh, it looks like we got another one. So let's see. Is it here? Yes, right here. It says here. No, unless they take the mark. Some will see God's glory and will be beheaded for their revelation of truth. Okay, so this is in response to, so no one else will get saved after the midpoint. Let's be clear. So you said no. So that means no one else gets saved after the midpoint. And to be clear, we'll put correct, because that's what I read there. I don't know if that's how you read it. It says, because I asked, but does that mean you think no one else gets saved after the midpoint? No, unless they take the mark. Some will see God's glory and will be beheaded for the... All right, no, let's delete that. I'm going to delete my own comment, censoring myself here. Like, okay. So then God still tarries then. We'll put that, see. But we won't wait for a response unless it comes up before I'm done talking here. But if you like the video, the other stuff I put out there, please take a moment to pray to our Heavenly Father that He would keep the ministry going and keep us all going. And make us strong in His Word, in His Spirit, and bold and fearless, only fearing Him, not man. And that He would watch over us, protect us, and provide for us until He comes and gets us. Just to amen in Jesus' name to that should be good as gold. But if you'd like to help out some more, please like, subscribe with the bell icon, share the video, share the channel, interact in the comments section, such as if you want to hear my testimony. I was thinking of doing a live video this weekend, maybe just randomly Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night. Whenever I just feel like it, if I got some time there, just to do a live, just randomly pop up to see who would pop up. And then if anybody pops up, we can talk about whatever pops up. Or I'll just grab whatever's on my heart at the time and we can talk about that or something. I don't know. It's just kind of random. I haven't really done any lives. I've done a couple on one channel, but it was just by myself. And I just talked about a subject. I did a little teaching. But if I do it, it's going to be on the YouTube channel JD Morin. For anybody who's watching this on some other platform, that's where it would be if you're interested. So go to that channel and subscribe if you want to see that or be part of something like that eventually. And yeah, if you would like to help out some more, there's 4 ways you can donate to the ministry in the info description box if you so choose. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.